Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Elisa Sklar. I'm the VP of Marketing for GIS Planning. Delighted to be here with my colleagues, who I will introduce to you in a moment. With that, I'm going to say a couple words about ZoomTour, and then I will introduce my colleagues and turn it over to them. So Chris, maybe you'll give me the second slide there if you've got it. We're going to be talking to you today about ZoomTour, which is a brand new product that we introduced in mid-December. We're really excited about this. There is nothing else like ZoomTour on the market. Basically, what ZoomTour does is it's a cloud-based software that lets you create any content you would like that is tour-based, which means that there are physical locations on a map, and then you can add in content such as text, video, audio, images of different kinds, links to websites, data. You can format the text as you need. It lets you create these really compelling theme-based virtual tours about important features in your community or your region. And that is so critical right now, especially as the pandemic continues to restrict travel and make a lot of the normal business that we try and do very challenging. It means that you can create these tours for all kinds of different things, that you are going online and you are letting people see what they need to see about your community. You're actively promoting them and you're giving them information that they need. And when you have ZoomTour, you can create as many tours as you like. Within each tour, you can put in as many stops as you like. So we're going to be talking about tours on the one hand, and then we're going to be talking within the tours about stops. You'll see that the dashboard we're going to show you is very, very easy. You don't need any training. You don't need to be a designer or anything like that, a coder. I mean, it's drag and drop, very intuitive, very user-friendly. Sharing the tours is super easy. We're going to show you how to do that. Basically, it's a link that you generate. When you click on a share tour, you can share directly into social media. You can put the link on your website. You can build it into presentations if you're attending virtual conferences or any kind of meeting. You can put it all online there. Great way to pump up your email newsletter if that's something you want to do. It's very, very easy to share. You can format the text as needed within there. There's a simple editor, so you can bold or use colors or add images as well. You can add hyperlinks, social media channels. Basically, this is about engaging people online and communicating really interesting and compelling information about what it is that's happening in your community. And because GIS Planning is an economic development services company, we obviously think about this for economic developers. It's a great way to create a tour of featured properties in your area, or business parks, or industrial parks, or workforce elements such as research universities and technical schools, all kinds of stuff like that. But you could also use it for tourism. You could create a tour of the best places to have lunch or go for dinner around the conference center in your area, or do a tour of film locations in your region, or a tour of in industry sectors, companies in target industry sectors. It's really up to you. There's so many things that you can do, which is why we always say, let your imagination be their guide. Now, what I'm going to do is introduce you to my colleagues who are here with us today, and they're going to show you exactly what this looks like. So we've got Chris Gillis here from Client Services and Stevie Field Chavez from Sales. Hello, Chris and Stevie. How are you today?
Great. Good morning.
I am going to pass this over to you, Stevie, so you can walk us through ZoomTour. I guess, Chris, you'll be the one to hand her the controls.
Yeah, or I can pass it over there. Let me do this. So Stevie, coming your way here. 1 second.
There you go.
Okay.
All right, very good. I hate to ask, but can everyone see my screen?
Yes. We can.
Very good, very good. I apologize for the background noise. If any of you on the call can hear, my gardener decided to show up about 2 minutes before the webinar started. So there's that. I hope you all had a wonderful holiday season. And with that, we're going to show you our GIS Planning Holiday Tour. Elisa created this. You can see we have several different stops here on the tour, each showing different locations where our team is located. Here we have our introduction message. It just kind of, if she created this, it can be anything that you want it to be. It can be an introduction about your community. It can be a welcome message to different tourism things in your community or industrial parks and different stops along the way. In this here, we have information on how to get started, and Elisa very creatively put in a welcome message with music.
Thank you for joining our first ever.
So this is just the first stop here in our tour, our introduction to the tour. Let's go to our first stop. This is Pablo, and this is one of Pablo's favorite locations. This is talking about the favorite locations for all of us here on the GIS planning staff. So you can see we have a link to the location that we're talking about. And if I click on the photo little icon here, I can have multiple different photos of any location on our stops. We also have our data little icon here. I'm sorry, I'm struggling for my words. And so this is going to show us a little bit about the cafe. You can see it clicks us to their link, as well as the location and Google Street View. As Elisa mentioned, you can have multiple stops on the tour, and within each stop, you can have multiple photos. So you can talk, it can be economic development related, tourism related, chamber related, community related, film industry related, and you can talk about the different film locations that you have. So it really just kind of takes you on a different tour of the area, of your community, showing your recipient exactly what you want them to see, and you can include links and different pieces of information. So this was a really fun one that she did. I love this one. I show this quite a bit in demos. This one here is mine. This is down the street here from where I live, and it's got some information about the community. Let's take a look at one of our clients, Bill. This is NISA. They're located here in South Carolina, and they built theirs for economic development. They're the first client for ZoomTour, which is really exciting. So you can see they have a tab here for data. We've got a link back to their website, as well as a tour. You can see they very creatively put a photo here of where they're located in the state. I've been in economic development a long time. I think that's really important. And then each tour, each stop along the tour takes you to various locations that they really wanted to educate the recipient on. So we have information about where exactly they're located. We have their welcome message to tell us a little bit about NISA and their area. You can see here we're kind of panning through our 360 images. This will accept video and drone images. So if you have those, you can always include those in on your tour. You do not need to be a client to be a user of ZoomTour. That can be, you can be a client for just ZoomTour if you're not interested in the rest of the GIS planning application and tools. So, and it's a very reasonable price. So for clients, it is $4,000 annually, and for non-clients, it's just $5,000 annually. So it's a totally affordable thing that can be used multiple times and in multiple ways. Chris, is there, I'm going to give this over to you just to kind of show a little bit about the back end and maybe how this is built, and kind of on the more of the technical view.
Great, yes, I'd love to do that. So let me get my up here, and everyone should be seeing that screen there of a port facility. Is that right, folks?
Yep, we can see it.
Okay, great. So as Stevie mentioned here, it is really easy to create ZoomTours. There are some components here. On the left-hand side is the panel where a stop or the intro information is shown, and you could edit that just like a web page. Oop, I'm moving around here a bunch. In the display, one thing I like to show everyone here is these little buttons here will change. There's up to 5 of them that can be there, but these are the stop elements we'll look at here. So when we go into the admin, it's really easy to create this. Let's talk about that real quick here. So when you come into the admin, you'll have your list of tours that you can create. There is no limit to tours here. It is really easy. Creating a tour, the amount of time it takes is really just gathering the photos and the videos and then going to work to do it there. You'll create a new tour by clicking add a new tour, giving it a name. From there, this is a tour I already started, but what happens here is there's an intro slide that I'll edit real quick, and then I've got a first stop here as well, and then an additional stop. So when I'm editing a stop, it is super simple. I've got a title. I've got this description field where I can mark it up just like any HTML. I can create links, embed images, sound, and so forth. Again, this is what appears on the left-hand side. You know, we're big on location here at GIS Planning, so there's a map location for that. And then, as Lisa mentioned at the start, there is a way to hook up as built in Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter for any stop. This does not have to be your organization's social media accounts. This can be unique to the specific stop, so keep that in mind there. Once I have the basic information in, I can go in and choose a street view location for it there. So even if I don't have videos or great photos, I can still use Street View at minimum. So that's really easy. The custom tour option is a way where you can upload a video. And there's a question about this, a video from, say, a drone. So let's go back to this NISA one here. This is a drone photosphere here. They've just sent a drone up and the software does the trick. This just needs to be hosted somewhere. So it can be hosted on Vimeo, YouTube, or for videos. For drone videos, it just needs to be hosted so you can get the URL of that drone MP4. Simple as that. That's what's going to be put in the interactive or the custom tour one here. For the gallery, in fact, I can click on that here. All you're doing is putting in the URL for that. So that's why it needs to be hosted there. The gallery, really simple. You're just going to add some photos and videos in the order you want them. For photos, you're just going to upload those from your desktop. Very, very easy. For a video, it just needs to be hosted somewhere. So like, again, Vimeo or YouTube, somewhere where you can get the URL and show that video down here in the thumbnails. The data one here. This is when we're actually moving to show any website here, and I'll show you a couple examples here in a minute, but we designed it initially to take data from your Zoom Prospector's intelligence components that may be on your website, or from your Zoom Prospector itself. So the little share function in either of those is how you can get the URL, and you'll just put it in here. For a normal website, you'll just put that website in here. So whatever, CNN.com, ESPN.com, you can put that in here. Let's look at a couple examples of where a website displays here. So someone in GIS Planning likes hot dogs. That's definitely Brian here. In his example is in Henderson, Nevada. There's some photos that he uploaded here along with a video. Obviously, we have the map location here, and we have the street view. So at minimum, we've done some really quick work. He's also embedded, because we're hungry, we need this, we can get the menu right here. So if you're building a tour for a, an attraction of some sort, you can put that location's website in here. This could easily be, and let's show it over here, go over to one of the NISA ones. Some of that data from GIS Planning here. So here is one of the intelligence components data. So for this stop, I can look at the labor force, the demographics, the consumer expenditure. All of that is really simply just by putting in this URL here. Easy as that. So these are the elements here. So you start with the general, put in your information, and add in each one of these here. That builds your tour. It is really easy there. Again, just need to host the videos. Somewhere. Videos need to be hosted, YouTube or Vimeo. Drone videos we probably hosted on the service that comes with the drone, or whoever shoots the drone video with you there. Going back to the admin, there's a question on how many tours can I have in store. It is unlimited. We have not had anyone push the limit. So you get ZoomTour, you can create as many tours as you want and work within your organization to meet all sorts of needs. Creating a tour does not take long. Gather the photos, the text you want to have with each tour for the stop, and then you're off to the races. It's really easy to edit and input each one of those. It's like a post on Facebook. It's even a little easier than LinkedIn there. And then I did mention other data sources and websites on the data page here. This is going to be built out so you can put any website in there. So if you want to share any sort of data source or web page, you can do that.
Chris, I think you touched on a really important part of a couple of great points. Is first of all, you really don't need any training on how to build this.
Right.
I got in, I learned more by doing, and so I needed to kind of get in and roll up my sleeves and see how easy this was to build. And I got in and I built one. I think I took about 30-45 minutes to build it, and I was just selecting photos on the internet of different locations that I knew nothing about. And so, you know, copy off the internet and that type of thing just to make a stop took a little bit longer because it wasn't my area, but it was so easy. It was really just a lot of cut and paste and grab and attach and put in a link. And that little box allows you to insert links and color put photos and color your text and design your text and everything. And so I found it to be super user friendly to build. So we don't need to train you on how to build this. We've built them to be self-driven. And so I love that. And just to kind of be clear on this, it is one logo for each license. So, you know, if you are a a multi-regional organization, you could, like NISA, for example, you could have your logo, but you could build them for, you know, your region, showing off different places in multiple communities or throughout your community. But, and you do get to pick your colors. So it will be designed with the primary colors of your organization as we talk to you about it when you on board.
Yeah.
Do you have, if there's any questions, I think Chris mentioned that, just go ahead and put those in the bar. I think it takes Chris about a day to get this over to clients when should they sign up?
Right. So if you sign up, this is designed to be fully self-service. There does not need to be a kickoff meeting. You don't need any training on this. You will get, our goal is to get you set up within about an hour. But we do give ourselves a buffer, technically a working day. But if you sign up now, I could get you going basically in the next 90 minutes here. You'd receive an email with everything you need to know, and we have a full and complete help center that makes this work for you. So it is really easy to get going on this one here. Yeah. And again, any questions, put in the question panel. There's been a bunch that I went through when I did the setup there. Overall, like Stevie said, this does not take a lot of time. You know, to put in a website or the data from your Zoom prospector is just simply using the share button here. If you have photos and the text ready to go, I would budget about 20 minutes per tour with about 8 stops or so. You're really just going to be coming in, pasting in the information, formatting really quick, adding the photos, making sure the map location's right, choosing street view, and you're good to go. If you do want to do something more grand, say with drone video at some point, you know, you will need to shoot that and simply host that somewhere. But once you do have that going, it's really just like pasting in a website. There is not a lot of worry there. One thing, another question we just had come in, mobile responsive on this. Since this is a tour sort of application, we want people out on the road using it there, so you can have someone on a site visit, or just, you know, you have a convention and visitors bureau and you've got a bunch of people that need to know what to do during their break. This is excellent for that. We are working on making this mobile friendly. This should be happening within the next month or so. So yes, it will become mobile friendly for your iPads and your phones. In fact, it already is for the iPad.
Very good. Another question I usually get when doing a demo of this is, can I add contact information and links to contact me directly? And absolutely, we
Yes.
always encourage that you do that. And I can just tell you, as I was an office of one person for economic development, and it was so, whoops, there you go. And it was something like this would have been so handy back in my economic development office days, because that would have just really, I would have not had to engage my marketing company to build something like this for me, to show people about my area. This would have been really great then. So
yeah, and the contact portion, there's several places.
Well, if you're interested in a demo.
Oh, Stevie, real quick on that contact one there. The contact can go in like the intro slide pages here. Also, for each stop, there is the social media section. So depending on what the organization is, you can put your information there, or others. But in the description field for any stop, you can always put any contact information there. So keep that in mind. And perhaps the last one to share is how to share these. You can share these in social media once you've created the tour here. Also in the admin, there is a, once you view the Zoom tour, you are very simply using the URL for that tour there. So all the ones we're looking at here, in fact, I can share the NISA one in the chat with people here. That is how you'll share it there. So as you're going out to LinkedIn, Twitter, promoting this, newsletters, Elisa, help me out here, all these other places you could use this.
Yeah,
really easy.
for marketing, it's really fantastic because it's a link. It's super flexible in how you use it. Certainly, we suggest building them into your website as links that offer kind of a multimedia interactive way for people to see different parts of the value proposition for your community. But as Chris is saying, in social media, email newsletters, people are doing a lot of virtual meetings and online presentations right now. This is certainly a nice spin on the usual PowerPoint that people share. So far more interesting and interactive. Whether you're in a conference or a meeting, it can be a link that you put in your online proposal. It can be sent in an email. There's all sorts of great ways to use it to get people's attention.
Yeah. Okay. And I think the next big thing is if you are interested in this, Stevie and Brian are here to help you and answer your questions on this. Stevie, do you want to talk about how people can get a hold of us here? I've got our contact information up as this last slide here.
Absolutely. Just email us at sales@gisplanning.com, or if you have our email, you can email us directly. We're happy to set up a demo to meet with you and your team on more of a one-on-one where we can hear you, we can ask questions, we can show you a little bit about the back end, talk to you about some of the examples that we have, and just make sure you feel comfortable with all your information as you do your due diligence and hopefully decide to move forward.
Great. Well, with that, let me check the questions panel one last time here. I think we're set for everyone there. Again, we'd love to hear from you, even if you're just slightly curious here. We don't bite at all. So keep us in mind, and we'll be talking to everyone soon. I want to thank Elisa and Stevie for joining me here, and obviously everyone for joining us on this webinar. So Stevie, Elisa, thank you guys.
Thank you. Have a great
Thank you so much. Wishing everyone a wonderful, just an awesome 2021. I think we're all ready for it.
All right. Thank you, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Bye now.
Bye.